Ladies and gentlemen, there have been some tough times going on in California. There's one California town that flooded 3 times in 2 weeks. And of course, they are fed up. I'm sure they are. I saw a lot of the aerial shots and everything coming out of California. Boy, it is a mess there, to say the least. Using a plastic broom, Camilla Schaefer scrapes the thick layer of mud caking in her yard, and it's the third time in 2 weeks that her house has been flooded, thanks to a string of storms. And I read there are more coming. This is still not over. There are more storms coming that have hit California in rapid succession. And I mean, this place looks a mess. I'm so angry. It just makes me want to cry. Schaefer, 59 years old. I was, it was only a few days ago when she cleaned up her porch from the last storm, and now she has to do it all over again. Upstairs, her belongings are safe, but the furniture of her art studio on the ground is ruined. Mm-mm-mm. In Felton, a town of 4,500 people tucked away in the mountains and sequoia trees on the coast south of San Francisco. Folks thought they knew San Lorenzo River, but it had burst its bank a few times in the past decade. I mean, wow. It is just, if you don't see floodwaters, it's a lot of mud everywhere, very muddy. But this time was different, with locals saying that they have never seen the waterway flood so wildly and so often. Since Christmas, no fewer than 8 storms have slammed California, fueled by a phenomena called an atmospheric rivers. And it's a long plume of vapor up high in the atmosphere, stemming from the tropics, and it carries a large amount of water. So, mm, they're saying that everything is lost, especially if you have a house that has a first floor, it probably, chances are, is very ruined at this point in time. Yeah, I mean, you see roads washed out. It really truly is a mess. And I think they said now, last night before I went to sleep, it was 17 that were dead, and now I think that number is up to 21. It's going to go way up higher than that. So 3 times in 2 weeks, it's crazy, said Kevin Smith. And he said that he recently purchased his parents a house near the river. Whoa. And he talked about the water just flooding the house out. Monday was the worst flood in California in 40 years. And this person, Kevin Smith, he restores old cars for a living, and those cars are now underwater. So some people are saying this is the new normal. It's hard to establish a direct link between the storms, which have claimed 21 lives in the state, and global warming. But scientists say the climate change is making extreme weather events such as this and the winter storm that passed a few weeks ago wilder and wetter. And in Felton, there were, they were saying the streets were so flooded, people feared the violent weather. in that area. And so many of them are saying they have to discard their furniture and everything because, it's not just the water. The water is filled with a lot of mud. So they can't even recover the stuff. They have to just throw it all out and discard it. So many people who live along the river, scientists said, in these multi level houses, um, they said they could withstand a flood 100 years ago, but these same houses are not holding up so well this time around, 100 years later. So a lot of people are saying, many of these homes are caught between the river and another stream that also overflowed its banks. So people are literally watching the water rise around and also inside of their houses. And this past flooding that they went through, people are reporting that their homes flooded within 10 minutes of the rain coming down, the heavy downpour. 10 minutes. That is crazy. So the house is a mess. The ground floor has a lot of toxic water. People are saying that the water is toxic and that the river carried with it gasoline, sewage, and chemicals. So all of this is in their homes too. And some of the homes, the interior walls have major damage. And some people are saying their houses are in such bad shape, they are not inhabitable anymore. So some of them are just trying to assess the damage because all of this, if hopefully they got insurance, but in some cases, the insurance will not cover um, this sort of damage. They won't. They'll tell you if the area floods like that, you need to move. That's what they'll tell you. So many of them are going to have a hard time getting coverage for, 3 floods in a 2-week period. Yeah, they're going to have a hard time. It's not going to be so easy. So some of the residents are coming to the realization of, if they can't live in this area anymore, they may have to move. They have to move somewhere else. So it's not a guarantee that the insurance is going to pay out on the damage, and sometimes people just don't have insurance at all. They don't have anything. I mean, it's rough being out here in these conditions, and it depends on where you live. Boy, these folks, they're in a bad situation with that kind of flooding in a 2-week period. Mm-mm-mm. Y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this. And, we had that extreme cold winter back in December, and now this in California is no telling what we're gonna see in 2023. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.